Is Donna Gray, and I'm your Stampin' Up demonstrator from the scenic Rim in Queensland, Australia. Lovely to be here, coming to you live from my chilly craft room again this morning. So the chill is in the air once again here in the scenic Rim. So welcome. I will give it a couple of minutes for you to all get the notification because it takes a little while for it to send the message out that I've gone live. So good morning. And Leslie is first cab off the rank. Good morning, Leslie, here on YouTube. So I'm streaming to a couple of different places. I'm streaming to Facebook on my business page. I'm streaming to here on YouTube. And I'm also streaming onto Instagram when I click the go live button. Okay, so welcome everyone. Lovely to have you here. Absolutely a nice crisp morning here once again. I'm super excited to be here this morning with you all. And if you didn't catch my unboxing yesterday of my pre-order of our new online exclusives that will be coming to customers on the 3rd of July. But if you want to get them right now, you can pop them in a starter kit. So there is a way of getting your hands on them right now instead of waiting until July. Because who wants to wait until July? Not me, I say. And I can tell you, most of the people were so excited when I showed you the green and gold suite, which is absolutely the Christmas suite, which is absolutely gorgeous. And the frosted trees, I think that's what it's called. Let me see. I don't know. Yep. Frosted forest. Sorry, not the frosted trees, the frosted forest. So we're going to have a bit of a play with the frosted forest this morning, because it was so much fun. And I've actually had a little bit more of a play with it after I got off the video, and I have a great, cute card for you today. A nice, quick, easy card as well. So I like to be able to create some cards for the beginner crafters for them to be able to do. And this one is pretty awesome. The actual masks and the blending brushes do the job for you. So honestly, I love these masks where we can actually use a series of masks. And they're pretty simple, and I'm going to show you exactly step by step how to use these masks this morning. But they create some gorgeous creations, and we look like we are such experts at our crafting, but the products are actually doing the work for us. And that's one of the things with Stampin' Up that I must admit. We have good quality products, and Stampin' Up's creative team really make our life easier as crafters to be able to get this gorgeous look. So good morning. I've got a few people. I've got some Aussies on here. So I've got Leslie, Jill, Julie, welcome. Cheatskates Club, welcome. That's Kerry, I think it is. Christine, good morning. Dell, lovely to see you. Jean, lovely to see you on. Margaret, welcome. I hope you're feeling better, Margaret. I hope you've got some answers from those doctors. Laurie from Ohio, lovely to see you, Laurie. Thank you for catching me live. Lorraine is watching at work, but it's okay. Lorraine doesn't get in trouble. The only person that's going to go mad on Lorraine is Lorraine. Paulette from Canada, hello and welcome, Paulette. Kiwi, lovely to see you. Can't see the forest from the trees, Kiwi. Lovely comment there. Good evening. Lovely to see you from the US. All right, so just a couple of things before we get started. The much anticipated wait for the glass mat studio has arrived. Now it's arrived for us as demonstrators, but you can actually pop it in a starter kit today. So if you wanted to get your hands on the glass mat and be guaranteed that you are actually going to get the glass mat studio, you can pop the glass mat studio in a starter kit. So in the starter kit, you get to choose $235 worth of product, and you only pay $169. Theo is not with us today, and Theo was up to mischief last night. So yesterday afternoon when I did my live video, Theo was chewing on cardboard boxes and chewing on things that he shouldn't have been chewing on. I probably should have fed him before I went live. And of course, his little chewing habits got him an upset stomach, didn't it? So he left me some nice little mess out in the garage after he had been fed. So so thanks to Theo, I had a nice little mess to clean up. So that's what happens when you chew on things that you shouldn't be chewing on. So I think he's taking it easy this morning. So Glass Mat Studio is in and able to be purchased. The other thing is we have 10% off our stamps and die bundles that are in our annual catalogue. So all of the stamps and die bundles have been reduced by a further 10%. So you always save 10% when you buy them in a bundle. But for this month, June 2024, you actually get to save an extra 10%. So you're going to get 20% savings by actually purchasing them this month. Any of those reduced bundles can actually be put in a starter kit along with the glass mat. So if you were interested in getting the best value for money, then the idea is to pop the things that are reduced by the 10%, the Glass Mat Studio. We also have our cut and emboss machines are actually reduced by 10% as well. So the large cut and emboss and the small cut and emboss are reduced by 10% for this month only. Yes, Margaret, naughty Theo. That's all I can say. It wasn't a pretty mess that I found. But you know, that's what happens. He chews things, and then of course I'm glad that he brings it back up. So but yeah, not a nice mess to be looking at. So if you wanted to pop any of those things into a starter kit, please, you can scan that QR code. You can come back to this video. There is also links in the show more box down below and also in the description of these videos to join my team. So the one thing is to make sure that when you go through the joining process that it says that I am your team leader, to make sure you're joining with the right person to actually get supported the right way. So I'm a no pressure team leader. I don't make you do anything you don't want to do. You can join wholly and solely just to get the discount. And that is the awesome part. So whatever customers get, we get that special along with our 20% discount, or some of us have 25% discount depending on the level we're at. So it is a great time to join. So if you were thinking, if you've been sitting on the fence and you didn't know whether you wanted to join or not, then I can tell you it is a wonderful decision to make. And if you have any questions that you may want to discuss with me before you do actually decide to do the joining process, then by all means feel free to call me, and you will find the information how to contact me in my description of my videos. So thank you for joining, everyone. The other thing I wanted to let you know is I do have some adhesive kits still available. If you wanted to scan that QR code, that will take you to the adhesive kits that I still have available. I have sold out of some of them, but there are still some that are available. Now they are in a one of our old wooden style plastic boxes. So they come in that handy dandy carry box. So they're great for taking to classes, to scrapbook crop nights, whatever. And the beauty of them is I've actually printed up a list on the back of them with all of the adhesives that we carry and the item codes. So whenever you're running low on an adhesive, you've only got to flip your case over and check, and you can actually pop your order in by actually looking at the codes on the back of the case. So very handy, because it's awesome to be able to get your hands on those item codes straight away to be able to reorder your adhesive when you're running low. So those are available. You can scan that QR code. You can come back to this video, or there is a link in the description down below on YouTube, and also in the description of the video on Facebook. The only other thing I can say is if you just want to shop with me, if there's something that you like and you just want to shop with me, then you can actually scan that QR code if you're into QR codes, or you can actually see the links in the description down below. If you are interested in scrapbooking, I'm overwhelmed by the support that I've already had with the first month of scrapbooking. I've closed the month of June at the moment for the frames and flowers. If you are still interested on getting your hands on the frames and flowers scrapbook workshop that I'm actually doing this month, then by all means please message me, and I would be more than happy to guide you in the right direction. I will take some late signups, but I will be doing a new scrapbook workshop for next month, and I'm going to use one of the ephemera packs out of our Stampin' Up catalogue, and I'm also going to be using the Country Woods Designer Series paper. So those layouts, I'm telling you, are going to be stunning with the ephemera pack that I'm going to be using. And the ephemera pack has lots and lots of flowers and things. So you'll have beautiful embellishments to pop on your layouts. Now, for every month, it's going to, at the moment, it's costing $95 because I'm putting together some kits. You get 12 by 12 cardstock, you get the designer series paper, you get embellishments for that $95 delivered to your door. I am holding them in person here in the Scenic Rim. So if you are interested in scrapbooking classes, then by all means, please scan my QR code to sign up to my newsletter for my Scrap It With Me workshops that I will be holding every month now from now on. So super excited to be adding some scrapbooking to my classes, which is really, really awesome. All right, so let's get to crafting because that's what you're all here for. You're all probably going, okay, that's enough gabbling on. How about we get to crafting? So I'm going to bring in a couple of things. So we had a bit of a play with these yesterday. Now let me get down onto my desk. Sorry, I'm just getting myself organized here in front of me before I pop myself down onto the desk. Okay, so I will remove that now, and we will go down onto the desk and we will have a look at these beautiful trees that we created yesterday with these masks. So these are the trees that we did yesterday. I have added to this one because I've actually stamped over the top of this one. We didn't do that yesterday in my unboxing. Now, if you missed my unboxing, by all means, after this video is finished, please head to my YouTube channel and check out the unboxing of the brand new products that we have coming in our online exclusives. As I said, they will be available to customers on the 3rd of July. But if you are interested and you want to get your hands on them earlier, then by all means, you can actually join my team and get your products at a discounted rate and be able to be a part of a crafty community. So these were the ones that we did yesterday very quickly in the unboxing of our pre-order that I did for the online exclusives. And I'm super excited about this bundle. I think it's going to be a really, really awesome bundle, and I think people are going to absolutely love it. So it is called the Frosted Forest. Now, you always get me every time you see trees. You always get me. I love, love, love tree stamps, and I think they're very versatile for all different occasions. So a tree set, every time I see a set that has some gorgeous trees, I'm always interested in the tree set because it is awesome. So Sandra said, she said her big brown box arrived Monday. Glass mat is in the house, as well as her 3 bundles that had 10% off. And you know, and that is the awesome part. And Sandra, you're a demonstrator, so you would have got things even cheaper again because you're actually a demonstrator. So when you're a part of Stampin' Up, you get the discount on top of whatever specials there is. Lorraine said that she's just got a message saying that her order is arriving today, and she's at work, so she won't be able to get to see it until this afternoon. But you'll be able to get your awesome products this afternoon when you get home. You got something to look forward to when you get home. Oh, yours was supposed to come yesterday and it didn't arrive, Daryl. You hope it comes today. Yeah. Oh well, late this afternoon. It looks like a late night craft session tonight. So hello, I've got a few more people. Maureen, welcome. Lovely to see you. Robin, lovely to see you. Robin, I need to message you after I get off my live about your BOGO sale order. So we need to get something sorted for that there. Merlene, welcome. I can see Merlene's on. Beryl, lovely to see you. Maggie from California, lovely to see you. Deborah, where's Deborah from? Not sure where Deborah is from. You love the tree I did. It was gorgeous. Can't wait for your glass mat, Daryl. I know. All right. So we're going to recreate this tree here this morning. So we're going to do that again. In case you missed the live session yesterday, we're going to recreate this tree once again. So we need a piece of basic white, which I'm sure that, let me see if this basic white. So now these are the masks, and the masks are called the Frosted Forest Decorative Mask. Now, I've still got my ink on mine, and that's totally okay because I'm going to be using them again today. So I'm not going to be using the A, B, and C. So that was for these trees here. And I must say, I like these trees. I think they're gorgeous. But we're actually going to be using the masks for 1, 2, and 3, which is for this tree here that we've actually done in this one. All right. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper. So this is how you use these masks. You always have a scrap piece of copy paper to pop under you. Let me just pop those aside. So you have a scrap piece of copy paper under you. Now I'm just going to make sure that this is, I'm going to, with my washi tape, I'm going to adhere my basic white layer to my copy paper underneath me. And I'm just, this is probably pretty crazy, but I'm using, my washi tape is nearly out. So I'm using scrap pieces that I actually had the other day. So hopefully these will work. So I'm just going to adhere that to my copy paper sheet. Okay, so I've got that. Now, the next thing that you do is you make sure that you've got your mask up the right way. So you can see in that corner, I know it's a bit hard to see. Hang on, I get the light just the right way. There. Okay, you can see it's got a number 1 up in the corner. So we have number 1, number 2, and number 3. So make sure you've got your masks up the right way. That is the most important thing when you're using these masks. If you've got one that you've flipped over, things aren't going to line up, okay? So you're going to make sure you've got them up the right way. I'm going to line that up on my piece of paper here. Sorry, I'm going to move this up because I want to be able to draw on my paper here. So let's move that up a little bit so I can get my mask to be down further. All right. So what we're actually going to do, and I'm going to cut this out, so it doesn't really matter, but I wanted to make sure that I've got my mask, my tree stump down towards the bottom of this this white piece of cardstock to make sure I've got enough room for the top of the tree to go in. And I'm sort of centering it in the middle. You can see through the mask, so you can see where your sheet of paper is. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a pen. And where did I put my pen from yesterday? There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to take a pen and I'm going to hold on to the mask and I'm going to outline the outside of my mask, and I'm going to outline the corners and that notch. I'm going to outline this corner here and that notch. Same thing down the bottom. Now you can do bigger lines up the sides if you want to really make sure that you're lining your masks up properly. But the reason why we're doing this is so that the next time that we put the next mask on, we're going to line them up where those marks are. Okay, so I'm going to line up my mask with all of those corners ready to go, which is right there. Okay, now we're going to need some blending brushes, and I've added another color in from yesterday. We're also going to need some sponge daubers because I'm doing something else a little bit different. So I'm going to use my pecan pie for the tree stump. Okay, so let's grab our pecan pie and my blending brush. And I'm just going to pick up some pecan pie. Oops. And I'm just going to lightly blend without moving my mask. Whoops. Lightly blend over the top of that mask. Okay. And that's just going to create the stem or the tree trunk for our tree. Okay. So just lightly, you don't have to press hard, and bam, we have our tree trunk. So that was number 1. Then I'm going to take number 2. I'm going to line that up. I'm going to close up my pecan pie. I'm now going to grab my old olive ink. And yesterday I said that I needed to re-ink my old olive, and I have actually re-inked it. So it will be good to go today. All right, so we have that. So now with this one, we're going to line this one up over the top once again. So because we've got our corners marked here, it's really good to be able to line up the top corners and the bottom corners and get that lined up perfectly where we need it to be. All right, so now we're going to take our old olive ink. I'm going to pick that up in my blending brush. I'm going to pop my hands down on my mask and I'm just going to blend. Now, as I said yesterday, with these masks, just keep adding ink to your blending brush and lightly blending over the top. Don't scrub really hard on these masks because they have little fine, intricate cut pieces. And if you scrub really hard with your blending brush, you'll find that you will tend to bend and buckle up those little pieces. And you don't want to do that. You want to keep them all nice and good to go because I did notice after several people had used mine at my card buffet that they were all bent up. Now, you ready for this? How gorgeous does that look for a start? So it looks like a watercolor tree, doesn't it? So now we're going to line up our number 3 mask, and the number 3 mask is going to add a little bit more detail to this tree and a bit more highlight to the tree. So we're just going to line that up and we're going to add same color. I haven't changed the color. We're going to add the old olive over the top. So I haven't changed up my color at all. I've just been using the same old olive. And the thing is, when you put ink on ink, it goes darker. So because we're putting ink on ink, we're going darker. And then that is going to give us all the more detail to our tree. Okay. So wait, it gets better. It gets so much better. Then I'm going to take the tree stamp, okay? So this is where it totally brings this tree to life. So I'm going to take the tree stamp. I'm going to grab my pecan pie, early espresso. So I'm going to grab out some early espresso, and I'm also going to grab out some mossy meadow. Now, I'm just going to move that over to the side a little bit, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this tree. So first of all, with my sponge dauber and the early espresso, I'm going to put that up there so I don't get confused. I'm just going to, with my sponge dauber, pick up some early espresso, and I'm going to just sponge it onto where you can see the branches on this stamp. So sponge daubers are great for doing this because you don't have to be too particular, but just as long as you're just getting where the branches are on this tree and the tree stump. Okay, so early espresso for the branches and the tree stump. Okay. Then I'm going to change my sponge dauber and I'm going to grab my one for the mossy meadow. I'm going to remove my early espresso, bring in my mossy meadow, and then I'm going to go with the mossy meadow around all of these little parts of the tree. Okay. So just picking up some mossy meadow with your sponge dauber and heading all the way around the tree. This is so cute. So, so cute. You wait until you see what it does to this tree. Okay. And just there. Okay. So we've got mossy meadow all the way around the outside. We've got early espresso on the inside. Now, when you actually are doing this with a photopolymer stamp, you just need to, or any stamp, you just need to moisten that ink again. So I'm going to breathe on it. So the moisture out of my breath is going to breathe on it and re-moisten the ink on the stamp. And then we're going to stamp over the top. So huff and puff on that stamp. I'm going to stand up so I can actually line this up. So we're just going to go over the top of that tree. Okay. And we're going to stamp it down. Okay. So it takes a little bit. Sorry, my head was probably in the road then. So I'm just lining that up over the top of the tree. Do you mean the starter kit? You get to pop whatever you want into it. Yes, Leslie. What's Jean asking? Where is Jean? What do you get in the kit? Okay, so Jean, you actually did say that to me on my YouTube channel yesterday, and that's what I was, I did actually reply to your message this morning. So in the starter kit, Jean, if you live in Australia, in the starter kit, you can put whatever you want into the starter kit right now, up to the value. Look at what that does to that tree. It totally gives it detail and nice little, I didn't line it up real well. I lined up this one a lot better. Look at this one when I lined it up. I lined it up a lot better, but I had to re-ink my my ink. But it gives tree stump, and it's very hard because I'm on a video. I did this one not on a video, and I got right over the top and lined it up. So Jean, you can put whatever you want in the starter kit that is available in our online store. You can put it into the starter kit to make up your $235 worth of product. So all you do is whatever it adds up to retail, you can go to $235 on the dot, or you can go just below. You can't go over, but you can physically get whatever you want, adding into your kit up to $235 worth of product, and then you only pay $169. If you would like to give me a call, do you live in Australia, Jean? If you'd like to give me a call after this video, I would be more than happy to chat with you and talk about it and let you know. Kayla, I know, Kayla, you're going to love the set. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that tree and I'm actually going to cut that tree out. Because we now have matching dies. I'm going to pop those ones over there. We have matching dies that go with this gorgeous set. So I'm going to grab my stamp set because I keep my dies in the stamp set. And we are going to grab that tree die out of our stamp set. Sorry, out of our dies. So we have, I have no fingernails and I can't pick things up. Okay, so we're going to take that die and we're going to grab our cut and emboss machine and we are going to run that through. So, so the thing is, what some people put into a starter kit, depending on if you're starting out as well. So, Jean, if you're new to crafting and you're just starting out and you need to have a cut and emboss machine, they're reduced this month by 10%. So if you haven't got a cut and emboss machine, I always suggest to people to pop a cut and emboss machine in the starter kit, because once you actually purchase a starter kit, once you get your ID number and you set up your portal, you can then go in and place any orders after that on top of, like after your starter kit, and you will automatically, instantly, straight away get that 20% discount. So it's super, super an awesome deal. All right, so let's grab, now I had some washi here. I'll grab the washi off this. Just going to put some washi tape on my tree and I'll line that up with my die and pop my washi down to hold it. And then I'm going to run that through. I know, Christine. I said that yesterday. I think it would be perfect for scrapbooking as well. Yep, definitely. And I know I did say I was going to do a scrapbook layout with you this morning. I will possibly do that tomorrow. And the reason why, I wanted to play with these trees. I had a fun play with them yesterday and I was like, oh my Lord, scrapbooking will have to wait until I play with these trees. Okay, so we've got our tree. Look at our cute tree. Isn't it gorgeous? So the actual masks have done the job for us, and then you can cut it out. So it's gorgeous. All right, so I've got a couple of things here. I'm going to use a sheet of this, a little piece of this designer series paper. Now that is the iconic celebrations paper that I showed yesterday in my unboxing. So I've cut a little strip. Now this strip is 3 5/8 by 1 1/8. And you may say to me, why in the world have you done it at that measurement? The reason I did it at the measurement is because I needed to cut some kits for this. So I needed to make sure that it's going to fit on the front of my card. Now, the next question is, I've got some of the colors that I've used. I've got Old Olive here. I've got Early Espresso. I've got Basic White, and I've got Mossy Meadow. Now, do we want to do a white card base? Do we want to do an espresso card base? Do we want to do a Mossy Meadow card base, or do we want to do Old Olive? So type it into the comments what color card base you think I should go for. Okay, so I'm just trying to work out what color card base I want to go for. So let me know what your thoughts are. Good morning. Who have I got? Good morning, Suzanne. That's okay. Julie's saying espresso. So I've got one for espresso. Type it in the comments and tell me what color card base we want to start with. Now, my card bases are all cut at 5 3/4 inches by 8 inches. Okay, so we've got 3 for espresso. It looks like espresso might be it. 1 for Old Olive, 3 for espresso, 4 for espresso, and 1 for olive so far. So olive, okay, espresso's it. Paulette, you were the decider. Okay, so we've got early espresso. Cut it 5 3/4 inches by 8 inches, and I will fold that in half, and that will give me my card base. Okay, just going to grab my bone folder to sorry, I'm fiddling around in my drawer trying to get my bone folder out to crease that. Hey Kerry, how you going? So we have our card base. Okay, so I'm thinking I might do a Old Olive layer on the front. I think I'm going to do that. So let's cut that Old Olive layer. So my Old Olive layer, I want it to be 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. So that's the next layer that I step down. If you want to know how I cut my card base layers, I do have a video explaining exactly how I cut all of my bases and my layers, and it's in my beginner video series here on YouTube. So if you want to check out YouTube, I feel like that card base is not the right size. Let me double check. It looks a lot bigger than what it should be. Yes, it is. I thought it was. There you go. Oh, and then that's probably going to be not right when it comes to this. Okay, let's grab the next piece. I didn't have them cut at the right size. I just grabbed some pieces and they weren't cut down. So let's cut them down to where they should be. So 5 3/4 inches. And the reason why I could tell that was straight away, as soon as I put that layer on, it didn't look like the right size layer. And I knew I'd cut the Old Olive layer right. So once you get into a routine with your card base sizes, you will find that you'll have no problems with your crafting. So let's do that there. Okay, so we have all of that done. Now, can you see when I put my layer on? So when I put my layer on the other one, I could tell I didn't have the nice even border all the way around. The kit that I'm using, I'm not using a kit, Jean. The products that I'm using at the moment, so I just wanted to explain this to Jean. These products are actually, you have to be a part of Stampin' Up to be able to order these products this month. Next month, you can order them as a customer, but this month, unless you're a Stampin' Up demonstrator or you're a part of my team, you can't actually order these things this month. You can order them on the 3rd of July. But if you are a demonstrator and you can order, it is called the Frosted Forest Bundle. Now, if you get the Frosted Forest Bundle, you'll find that it will come with the stamp set, and there is also masks. So the masks that you're talking about that I've just done all the coloring, they're called the Frosted Forest Decorative Masks. So there is the Frosted Forest stamp set, there's the Frosted Forest dies, and there's also the Frosted Forest decorative masks as well. All right, so we've got that. Now, I want to actually, with that stamp that I had, I'm going to clean that off, and I'm just going to stamp some stamp background, just as a little background in behind, not anything too overpowering, but just to take the, and I'm going to grab my Stampin' Scrub. Stampin' Scrub is a fantastic cleaning product for your stamps. Are you ready? Look how dirty my stamp is. Okay, look how dirty the stamp is. We use a Stampin' Scrub. It's got this nice little furry piece in it. We use our, no worries, Jean, not a problem. We use our Stampin' Scrub, and look how clean it is now. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. Stampin' Scrub is fantastic for cleaning and conditioning your stamps. We use the Stampin' Mist to spray on it, and once you've actually sprayed it with the Stampin' Mist in a craft session, you probably don't have to respray it again as long as you shut it, okay? All right, so let's ink that up with our Old Olive ink. Okay, so I'm just going to ink that up with the old olive ink, and I'm just going to take my my old olive piece. You're not the only one. Yeah, I know. I can't. The chamois great, but I prefer the I definitely prefer the Stampin' Scrub. So I'm just going to stamp one tree down towards the bottom, like that. Then I'm going to ink up again, and I'm going to stamp another tree up the top, just here. Okay, and that's just creating a little bit of a background for us. And then I am going to, we have a bird in here. I'm going to stamp the bird as well. Why not? We can. There's our cute little bird. So let's grab our bird out. We'll stamp the bird. Okay, still going to do the bird in the old olive. Oh, and I touched that. But anyway, we'll do the bird there and another bird there. All good. I've smudged it, but that's okay. You get the gist of what we're doing. All right, so let's close that up. Now I'm just going to assemble this card. So we have our trees in the background. We're going to have our cute little piece of designer series paper down through here. Then we're going to pop our tree up on here. So how cute is this card looking? Like, I mean, seriously, people. Should you use the matte when stamping? Julie, I'm using the glass matte and it's fairly solid. It wasn't anything to do with the surface that I was stamping on. I actually touched the card and I didn't realize that I'd touched the card with the stamp and I'd pulled the stamp up. So you can actually use like a pierce mat or something for the cushioning behind. I find the glass mat is really good. I haven't had an issue with the glass mat, but if you want a definite perfect stamped situation, then yes, definitely use a pierce mat underneath. All right, so I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock, which is a strip here from cutting my layers, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment, thinking of you and how you strengthen my life. How lovely is that sentiment? So let's grab that out. I'm going to pop that onto a block, and it'd be nice if I could pop it straight on a block, but anyway, it's photopolymer, so we'll be able to see through it. Oh, and of course it's the other way up. Would have been good if I could read that, but there we go. Thinking of you and how you strengthen my life. Now, of course, this has not been used before, so I'm actually going to use my scrap paper. I'm going to ink up. Oh, I think I might do it with early espresso. No, mossy meadow. No, pecan pie. What color am I going to do it? Can I make a decision? All right, so let's ink it up in pecan pie. And I'm just going to smoosh it on my paper. And the reason that I do that, sometimes there's a little bit of a film on our photopolymer stamps before we use them. And sometimes it repels our ink a little bit. So I wanted to make sure that, there we go, and it's stamping perfectly now. I wanted to make sure that that residue was gone off my stamp before I actually stamped it on my strip. So I'm just going to ink that up now. And I'm going to stamp that as close as I can down towards the bottom because I'm going to cut this strip down a little bit. So let's see if I got that straight. Not bad, if I do say so myself. All right. So as you can see up in that top corner, just there is my QR code. If you wanted to purchase any products at all for your crafting habit, then I would really appreciate the sales. It helps me bring you more of these live videos that I do for free every day of the week, 5 days a week. Okay, so let's just trim that down with my little handy dandy trimmer. Okay. And we will pop it along there. Okay, so I'm just going to trim that down nice and thin, that I've got a really cute little sentiment strip there. Okay, got a mess on my desk here, haven't I? And I'm going to have an even bigger mess soon because I've got to do a lot of designing for my card buffet this weekend. So I'm holding a card buffet this weekend, which is super fun. The ladies get to make 8 cards using all different sets. So it's a really fun weekend of crafting. And I hold my card buffets once every 2 months. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Now, I am going to use my ribbon on this. I'm going to use this gorgeous ribbon. So I'm going to wrap the ribbon just around where I've got the designer series paper. I'm going to wrap my ribbon around. So I'm going to use my Seal Plus if I can find it. It's probably here on my desk somewhere. There it is. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of Seal Plus on behind at the back there. So there and there. I'm going to wrap this ribbon around. This iridescent striped trim is gorgeous because it is not too overpowering on your projects. So I actually love it for the simple fact that it's not, it's ribbon, but it's not overpowering and too much on some of the projects. So I've got that there. I'm going to pop up this layer, I think, on dimensionals. So that one there was the iridescent striped trim. That is available right now in our online store. Okay, so we're just going to add some dimensionals on the back. Okay, and of course I'm going to use my handy dandy take your pick tool to remove those because it's the quickest and easiest way of collecting your backings off your dimensionals without getting them everywhere. And as you can see, they accumulate on the point of your take your pick tool. So you poke it in, and as you twist, as you pull up, you twist and pull up at the same time, and it collects that dimensional backing on the back of your take your pick tool. All right, so when I actually go to line a layer up like this on a card, I like to make sure that I pop my fingers underneath. I get my even borders all the way around before I push it down. My pointer fingers are stopping it from actually gluing down onto my card base. Once I've got it where I want it to be, I just push down with my thumbs and then my pointer fingers and my thumb. Okay, and that's the way you can line up, because when you've got dimensionals, it's very hard to line things up exactly where it needs to be because you only get one go at it. Well, you can actually pull it up if you don't push it down real hard, but take it from me, yeah, trying to pull it up once you've stuck it down is not much fun. All right, so we're just going to add some dimensionals on the back of our tree, and I'm probably going to put just a couple of little mini ones on the tree trunk to make sure we've got our tree trunk popped up as well. And looking at the middle of that tree, I want one more dimensional in the middle of the tree. I know I go crazy with dimensionals, but I don't like things to sag. There's nothing worse than when you create a card and then it sags before it gets to the recipient. You know, like you don't want your card bowing in the middle of that front layer, or your tree looking like it's bent up like a banana because you haven't got the stability in the middle of the tree. So always make sure that you don't skimp on your dimensionals. You get 300 in a pack, so it's pretty awesome. All right, so I'm going to pop my tree over to that right hand side like that, and then of course I'm going to pop my sentiment. I think I'm going to pop it just up there. Yeah, I'm going to pop it just up there. So I'm going to add some dimensionals onto the back of that as well. So I think what I might do is add one on this side, leave enough room for the tree trunk, and then one there and one there. Okay, So I want it to straddle the tree trunk. So I'm leaving a little bit of room. Now, when I do this sentiment, I want to take it up enough that I'm actually going to get my dimensionals. So first of all, I'm going to have the tree stump going in between my dimensionals, but I'm also going to have my dimensionals touching the designer series paper and on the ribbon as well, so that we are actually getting it to adhere to the paper. If I popped it just on that ribbon, you would find that it would just float around and it wouldn't sit real nice. But because I've actually popped it onto the card, onto the paper, it will sit there a lot nicer. Okay. All right. So now, of course, you know me, it has to have a bow. I mean, if I was going to send this to a male, I probably wouldn't do a bow. I probably would just leave the ribbon and leave it like that. So if you wanted it to be a male themed card, then definitely don't put the bow on. But if you are sending it to a female, then I would definitely put the bow on. And you all know me, I'm the bow lady from Bow Desert. So is there a time that I'm going to have a card that doesn't have a bow on it? Like, not likely. Just saying. Okay. All right. So we have our cute little bow. And I'm going to pop my bow just down here. So I love it with a bow, but it's personal choice. If you decided that you think the bow is too much, then totally don't put the bow there. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to pick that up. All right, and we're going to pop that right there. And then, of course, I'm going to use some of my embellishments of the month is going to be my gorgeous pearls. And I think, well, actually, I might use the basic grey. I've been using the smoky slate ones all the time. Let's use the basic grey. Okay, let's use this one here. Okay, so I'm probably going to go maybe one there and a little one there. Whoops, thought I picked the little one up, but it didn't. There we go, there. Okay, and maybe a little one out here, and maybe, now I'm going crazy with the I keep thinking I've got them and I haven't. One down here, and I'm thinking one more. There is a little one there. No, yes, that is one. One more just up in here. There. Okay. Now, the reason why I ended up doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I like to do odd numbers when it comes to my embellishments on my card. I like to do odd numbers. Now, on the insert, so we're going to create an insert here. I'm actually just going to, I'm going to clean off this stamp again. I'm actually going to do a, no, I'm going to use another one of the stamps. Let's use another one of the, oh, yeah, let's use another one of the stamps. Why not? Okay, I was going to clean that one up and use that, but I'm going to use another one of these smaller stamps, which I think will be quite cute. This smaller one here. Why not? Okay, so get that out. And I'm going to use my old olive again. And I'm just going to add a smaller stamp just down here in this bottom corner here. So we'll do one like that. And of course, one like that. And maybe if there's enough still left on there, up in there. Okay, so there we have some gorgeous trees on the inside as well. All right, now do we have another sentiment? You thinking of you and how you strengthen my life. No beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart. Ooh, that sounds nice. Let's put that on the inside. Why not? Okay. That one there, and we might do that one in pecan pie. So thinking of you and how you strengthen my life. And then this one on the inside. No beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart. What a lovely card. What a lovely card. All right, so let's move that out of the way. We'll pop that on the inside. All right. All right, so we are going to add that in there just like that. All right, so there you have a gorgeous card using the Frosted Forest bundle. So what are your thoughts on that, people? How cute is that card? How cute. So as I said, the only way you can get your hands on these at the moment is to purchase them in a starter kit. So if you are interested and you really can't hang out until July, which I know a lot of you yesterday were like, I mean, the paper is stunning. The paper that I showed yesterday, the green and gold, I mean, I might do a card with that yet. I don't know. Maybe the scrapbook layout might have to wait until next week. I don't know. Like, honestly, I've got new products in the house. You know, like as soon as you got new products, it's one of those things. It's like I want to play with them. So thank you very much for hanging out with me today. And Julie said a male would use twine wrapped around. Yes, you could use the linen thread, would definitely look great on it. And for a male themed card, and maybe a knot, even linen thread in a bow on a male themed card looks totally okay. It doesn't look too girly for a male themed card, but yeah. So anyway, I need to get my running shoes on because I need to design some cards for my class on the weekend. So thank you to everyone that has hung out with me today. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you haven't followed my Facebook page, please follow the Facebook page. And thank you very much. I will be back here at 8:30 in the morning once again for another fun live crafty session. So have a great day, everyone, and I will see you all again tomorrow.